In Brooklyn, there was a well-known teacher who lived just around the block, and she was a Juilliard product. I'm not sure whether she studied there or taught there, or that never became clear to me. And I wasn't terribly fond of her. She was not a warm, loving teacher. But I believe she gave me the basics that allowed me to grow pianistically. She was the first perfectionist that I encountered in my childhood. The realm of perfection per se is not known to a lot of youngsters growing up. Kids go to school, the teachers that they encounter are teaching to an entire class of students. The one-to-one relationship is generally reserved for music lessons. Music lessons that unfold weekly, a lesson a week, you are in a room with someone who is demanding that you don't make a mistake. And that is a realm of experience for a youngster that is fraught with difficulties. I'm not sure how I weathered the strict discipline, but I know that I don't remember receiving a single compliment in maybe 10 years of lessons. I couldn't have been more than 6 or 7. And I would start playing, and she would stop me if I made a mistake and scold me and hit my hand, and once she hit my face. And when she hit my face, my instincts told me that this wasn't correct. I didn't use the term abuse because I didn't even know what it meant. But I did tell my mother that she hit me in the face, and please would my mom come to my next lesson. Well, my mom did come to my next lesson, and an amazing thing happened. Unbeknownst to me, I was playing some Chopin, and my teacher went to the window, looked out the window, put her hands together, and made a prayerful pose. My mother told me this later. And after the lesson, my teacher said to my mother, "He's wonderful." And that's the only compliment I received in all of the years of piano lessons pre-college. I actually went to the Juilliard school to audition. And I played every classical piece that I remembered from my preteen years. And Sasha Gorodnitsky said, "What do you want?" I said, "I want to be your student." He said, "Well, I have one opening. I have a student that just went back to Taiwan, and I'll give you lessons." He said, "But you're a little bit tense." I said, "Mr. Gorodnitsky, how did you know I was tense? You were sitting in back of me." He said, "I could hear it." It never occurred to me that one could hear tension in a pianist with their ears. I thought it's just something you observe. So somehow I made a connection. I like to make connections between hands-on teaching and tension in the pianist's physicality. It was a fledgling, callow connection, but it was the beginning, unbeknownst to me, of a major thrust, or maybe the major thrust in my career that was going to unfold. At my audition, I played whatever I could play from memory. I had been dabbling with the first and second ballades of Chopin on my own. And I'm sure I played them in a rather primitive way, but he must have heard or seen or sensed that it was well worth it to have me as his student. My teacher, Gorodnitsky, was an unusual Chopin player, as his teacher, Joseph Levine, was. I could not believe the beauty of his playing of Chopin's music, or of romantic music in general. And I still am thrilled to remember the sounds that he made. I had never heard him play in public, but he played often for his students at Juilliard. And the style seems, even back then when I didn't know very much, seemed so authentic and so right on to me. And it still does. He played in the milieu of Arthur Rubinstein and I can still hear his playing in my ear, and it's been 40 years since I heard him play.